This video initially started with me just wanting to try out the Prestige Chopper variant, but then I also decided to try out the Holger and MG42 in the current meta. And I made this loadout because it just amps the big mag having benefit, and I can rack up score streaks faster. I have like kinetic, the quick fix, the everything to kind of secure myself so I would not die ASAP, and I could just get the score streaks by killing enemies playing OPG and using the hardline. Unfortunately, MG42 felt just too slow, and I absolutely had to make some tweaks and add this Kreuger, and so I had to remove the overclock, and it kind of did change the whole loadout purpose. And MG42 actually felt the worst from these three, but I will explain it throughout the video. Meanwhile, the good things about the chopper are that it has of course many bullets, really good mobility for an LMGN overall, and disable pack at full use. Now the downsides would be that it has the quirky ADS. Now at close to somewhat mid-range, if enemies are not hiding behind head glitches, it is not an issue, but if you see an enemy even in a good range and they are like head glitching, hiding behind some obstacle, then you should double check if you really want to engage it in battle. And I think that chopper kind of feels like a weapon that you have to use, well, at least daily to get used to the quirky ADS. However, the mag size and the loadout setup and the disabled pack, these are really good arguments to at least have a chopper loadout for some matches.
Well, I need to quickly do a shade of reload with what.
I also have to highlight that the chopper gunsmith is designed for a aggressive OBG playstyle, and as you can see, it had many OBG seconds as well as kills. And now the Holger 26, it is kind of an in-between of chopper and the MG42, because it does not have a quirky ADS, but it still has pretty nice movement. Like MG42 in contrast, it just felt super slow. And with Holger, as you can see, I'm able to move around even without this Kreuger quite easily. And I think that it might be, like I said, it is just more versatile option compared to the chopper. And which one to use? Well, chopper would be better for like more OBGing, and Holger, I'm repeating the same thing, is more versatile. But they both are pretty nice actually to use. Now, which one to choose for a loadout? Well, if you need an extra versatility, then certainly be Holger. and if not, then you can really get some value from the chopper because it has pretty good hip fire, and like all the stats are pretty nice of it.
Haha, we won.
Now here I had a super explosive start with the hardline and capturing OBGs, and as you were able to see I got many captures, but I kind of decided to save score streaks for the second half of the match, and so I did not rack up more of them. But I think it was possible in that lobby and I would have gotten a few more kills instead of 29, but even 29 is fine. And now the MG42, whenever I used it I was absolutely struggling because often I would die while just trying to ADS at the enemy. I would just be destroyed by USS-9, VMP, and pretty much a few other guns as well. And the mobility, again, Holger and Chopper, we just felt way more smooth. And here I had to use the skull cap, but then the ADS time was still a bit of a nuisance. And I think that MG42 is just too slow. Like, you could use it to just camp head glitches, but from my experience I at least have to do at least some OBGing. And being able to get there on time or to the new spawn area on time, it is a huge advantage and almost a necessity. Like, even if I don't get many seconds, but I will get like 20-30 seconds of OBG, and those they will be spent by like capturing OBG or just going to get the spawn and then going into the OBG. So those seconds they actually matter. And with MG42 it is really hard to navigate through the map on time, and so this was the only MVP which I got, and it is only 17 kills. Oh no, my bad, it is actually 19 kills. But yeah, so the point is that if you're playing in hardpoint domination, you have to have good mobility. In the current meta where the main top meta guns are SMGs and MG42, if you are absolutely certain that your teammates are just OBG kings and queens and you are playing in a stack and you know that they are players who will be OBGing, then you can use the MG42 and do some team support. But with randoms or when your teammates are trying to farm kills, just don't. And in this match in slums I tried to use the MG42 and I tried to take the hill, but I just kept on failing, and I also kept on getting flashed. And then I remembered that in my Peacekeeper loadout I have a tactical mask, and I made a switch, and I have to say that Peacekeeper it is actually quite promising, and next season when the USS-9 is getting enough it might be either very close to meta or even inside the meta. But I already made a video with a Peacekeeper, I'm just rolling this while I'm yapping now. And so to conclude everything, aside of Peacekeeper being surprisingly good, and in this match the teammates were struggling and enemies were having an edge, but later I just trashed them all. Like I had 40 kills when this match ended and I think no one had above 20. But yeah, so now the chopper I actually liked, but at the same time it is not too versatile, and I think that it is only good in like smaller maps or like shoot house. Firing range it is kind of okay too, and I know that there are many players who are like just camping inside the houses, and with a chopper you can actually do that. Now, I personally don't like it, but it is still a thing that can be done. Now, Holger 26, it is more versatile, and just the thing is, do you really need a loadout that is more versatile? I mean, I'm assuming that you have other loadouts like USS-9, VMP, XM4, maybe Dire H, so like you already have versatile options. But if you absolutely feel that you need one more, then you should go for the Holger. And MG42 I really no longer like. Like, it's just feeling too slow. And so such would be the conclusion of the trying out of these weapons. And yeah, 40 kills, enemies, no one got above 20. And I also had 48 seconds of XG.